Okay. Uh-oh,
No, you're all right. I'm just getting YouTube up. It'll be okay.
had a little flash there.
Okay, we're live on YouTube
Okay.
and recording. So who's leading the meeting? Are you or Perry?
Gabe, why don't you're right there.
Yep,
wanna-
that sounds good.
I got I got paperwork here if we need it.
That sounds good. Maybe I'll let you run through the performance standards when we get there. 6
Okay.
o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Have a quorum. Is there any comment from Mr. Public?
Oh, yeah, that's what.
All right. All right, no public comments. Anybody have any adjustments to the agenda?
I do.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Let's go ahead and do Mr. Cousins first, and then we can do the other item second, if that's okay with everybody, the landscaping.
Yep.
I was gonna
Take it out of
propose the
order.
same thing. That sounds
Okay.
fine to me.
Okay.
All right, so then we will reverse the order of old business and new business on the agenda. And begin with new business, since we have Mr. Cousins here. We have all received your application.
We forgot the minutes.
Oh, we've read a minute?
Approve the minutes.
And vote on the other minutes.
All right, sorry, I got eager with that. You love new business.
Hear about it.
Does anybody have any comments on these minutes? I think they look good to me.
I didn't attend, so.
I read them, they were fine.
All right, so, you got a motion to approve the minutes? Gotta be Travis
I'll
or,
make a motion to approve the minutes.
all right, I'll second that motion. Any discussion?
I'm not sure you can vote since you were not there.
That's true, I can't vote.
That's
So
okay,
we
there's
have-
three of us still.
There's actually not.
I was not at the meeting and Gabe was not either, so there are only two of you, so it doesn't. You
I
can't
think
vote.
all you really have to do is you have to be familiar with the meeting minutes and look them over if you have any objections. You don't have to actually attend the meeting.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Did we look that up? I mean, we can also, here, I think maybe the appropriate thing to do is just table this or
No, that's fine.
until next month. We're gonna take both sets of minutes next month.
That'd be fine.
So I'll make a motion to table this until next month.
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
And then, okay. Sounds good. Now we're finally made it to new business. So maybe, like I said, we've all had a chance to look at your application, but it would be helpful, I think, for you to just do a little introduction.
Yeah,
Tell us what you're hoping for and,
my name is David Cousins, I live on Waterman Beach Road and have, since 1972, except when I was away to college for 4 years. I guess I've owned, the grandfather gave the land to my parents, and I guess they gave it to me about 10 or 12 years ago. I need to bring in some income off it. The taxes are getting quite expensive. Everyone likes to have the open space, but no one's helping pay the taxes. So what I proposed is having a place for food, right, for food trucks down there. My wife and my sister ran Waterman Beach Lobster for 30 years. And then my sister took it over. My parents gave her that land. And she put a brewery there, and the brewery is now defunct. So I don't think that's coming back. So they didn't make any money there. But I'm thinking of putting just a road from in front of my driveway, an oval, not into the floodplain, but just down about 50 or 60 feet. And connecting it to the other entrance right in front of my other driveway, which is already 2 ramps and entrances into the field.
Mhm.
And just put a parking area between the driveway and the road. And then we'll see what develops. I mean, I want the option to do it. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but if I,
And where would the food truck?
there'll be mobile, but they'll be down closer to the shore where the picnic tables will be.
Okay,
And there's already 4 picnic tables down there with a pad that's stoned up. Yeah, we did. So I'd have porta potties, you know, for that, and hopefully they'd be self-contained. I mean, if I have to do power and water at a later date, we'll think about it, but it's just an option to raise a little money and pay the taxes. You know, I'm not looking for a circus down there, but, you know, my 3 boys lobster, and I'm not too sure how much longer lobster is gonna be that viable by the way things look, so I wanna an option to be able to pay for the taxes so the land can stay in the family. That's basically what I'm looking for.
Mhm. So I guess I have a couple questions. One of them is that the area where the actual food trucks are going to be is not shown on this map.
No,
Is that correct?
It's correct, because I'm not sure where they're gonna be yet, or if they're gonna be any yet, so.
And I think it looks to me, and I think we'd have to take a look at it, but this is in the 250-foot shoreline zone. At
Yes,
least
it is.
much of it is.
Most of it is.
We also don't have that line on this map. I think
I think it all is.
It shows,
it shows a distance
yeah, it's
along one
223
lot
feet
line
there,
and 376 on the
so
other
you
side.
can assume that it's all within that area.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 250 does something like,
Yeah,
A little
I'm
like
pretty
that,
sure
yeah.
where the parking and road will all be in the shoreline zone.
Let me add to that a little bit. 25 feet is nothing. 75 feet. If you're back 75 feet from the high water mark, you can have structures without getting into any kind of DEP or permission or anything like that.
Yeah,
So I
I
think
would be back 75 feet, more than 75 feet with the food trucks. They wouldn't be within 75 feet of the high tide line.
that's an important number. So if you stay behind the 75 feet, the trucks are on wheels, they're not a permanent structure. So I don't really see any problems that way, you know?
yeah.
I don't think there's any limitations as if they're movable, like on wheels. or mobile.
Do you have a printout of the shoreline zoning ordinance in that?
What's that?
Do you have the shoreline zoning ordinance in?
yeah.
This came up several years ago, and it was about some other type of thing, but it was something was on mobile, it was on wheels, it wasn't considered a permanent structure.
But a priori, I mean, nothing forces you to bring the food trucks closer to the road.
No, nothing forcing me
You
to.
could have
I could have it right in that.
closer to the road and just have your picnic
Yeah.
table with the view.
Yeah.
So that's what matters.
Yeah,
So, I mean, to me, it would be less disruptive to the land if you kept them closer to the road.
yeah,
Yeah, and then left the area by the water for people to just enjoy their food.
The view,
Yeah, that makes sense.
especially, I mean, like, is this a rocky area? You try
that's a pond.
a pond, so it's gonna probably be wet and so
Yeah.
forth, so you don't want trucking.
That's not, they wouldn't be over there, because that's not mowed.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've been in front of my house, but it's all mowed
yeah,
and it's close, nicely taken care of landscape, so I'm not gonna have anyone wrecking the land, believe me.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
Yeah, because the view is just
Right.
the nicest.
yeah, if you wanna know all that, I can show you where it is.
Yeah.
parcel is on this
No,
one.
no,
The other one.
where it touches
Oh, yeah, right here.
down.
No,
Sorry.
No, that's, yeah,
this is,
Oh, it's right
this is
here.
the point, it's right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
yeah.
I was just saying.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and I own from here up to there, and then all the way down here, so I do have the next parcel to it, which is another 8 or 9 acres.
So that's
So you wouldn't be using the parking lot from
residential
the road.
recreation.
No, my sister owns a brewery, so, I mean,
But like, if there is a way you can work out something so that it will prevent,
I don't,
It's pretty far away.
I don't think that's,
It's not his property.
yeah, it's not my property, so,
so you would pave as well for the parking lot?
David, no,
No, so
stone dust, probably.
stone, okay.
And I haven't got an estimate on how much it would be to do it, so if it's too much, I wouldn't bother doing it. I'm just looking for a way to bring in a little income so I can pay the taxes, that's all. And it's a nice spot to eat down there. I mean, people used to go to the restaurant and came there every year for 30 years and, you know, liked it. So I think if you had a lobster roll truck or something like that, it'd probably do okay.
I remember one year, trekkers at an event on the beach, was it on your land?
Yeah, that's what we let them use that's the land I'm talking about. We let them use that every year.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And the tent worked out perfectly. and
We let people have weddings down there. We've never charged them. We just,
that's-
they ask, we let them, we just tell them to make sure it's picked up and
Yeah,
they take care of it, that's all.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so this commercial use is allowed in that specific district. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
It's allowed with the planning board approval, so that's no problem.
I wasn't familiar with the ordinance.
Yeah,
but I know
that district,
it's 75 feet is the cutoff.
It's a residential recreational district,
that's
just
R1 district.
It's not R1, it's shoreland, RR.
Okay. Just want to make sure I get it in here, right?
But it is allowed,
Okay,
just general commercial.
okay. Well, there's on the box, it was checked, general development. Is that was one we would be using?
It's not the general development district, according to this map.
I didn't think so. That's why I was kind of questioned about that earlier today.
Yeah.
But I didn't have anything with me.
Residential recreational is the district, RR.
Okay, all right, I got it now.
Great.
Okay, no problem.
11 p.m. When is Columbus Day? What month is Columbus Day?
Not October.
October, okay.
It varies. It's about the middle of the month.
And 7 p.m. is still light out in October?
Yeah, probably getting dark by then, probably close to it.
Or you would have to think of lighting or something?
Probably. It's probably fine. I don't need to have any special light at the other place and I ran for 30 years and they stay till 8 o'clock sometimes, so.
Yeah,
I think you're all set probably on light.
okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, the food truck will do, I'm sure they have lights on the food truck. I think.
Yeah, they'll use the lights on the trucks and that's string lights. or
Yeah,
something.
there's no extra. Yeah, that's a point. Don't want.
All right, well, should we run through the performance standards there?
Yes, I think so. I think it's allowed use. It's not a permanent structure as long as we'll get the setback and all that stuff from the shore and should be fine. The only question I have is, well, I'll get to that too, is the parking. The address is David Cousins. It's 343 Waterman's Beach Road, South Thomaston, Maine. And you want to have commercial food truck business. Is it going to be, how many trucks are we looking at here? One, two?
1, 2, or 3, I mean, maybe 1, I don't know, whatever I can attract, it seems like they
Up
do.
to 3.
2 or 3, I'd say 2 or 3.
I would say up to a certain.
Up to 3, how's that?
Up to 3 sounds good.
Okay. Got that. And it's in the RR district
Mm-hmm.
and it complies with our ordinances. Yes. Now that road down there, that's not that's not like a state road. That's a town road.
Down road.
Yeah. So that's a DOT permits are required there. I don't think any site reviews are required for a food truck. And there'll be no impact on wildlife.
Good visibility on those driveways. I think.
Straight drive.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Move down. Plan board is given jurisdiction to review the application and land use ordinance. And it's going to be proposed commercial for 3 food trucks. And it's authorized in the RR zone and in the condition plan based on above findings, maintains jurisdiction review of the applicant before it. Okay. Name's David Cousins. You own the land by deed. And it's 33. Is that side going to be 343? Is that the same address, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's going to be map 005, pay lot 20-003. Is that what I looked at? Yep, okay. Based on the above findings, the applicant established the right title, interest, this parcel and is subject to the applicant's application, therefore the standing to make the application. Land use ordinance property was in the RR district. Question,
Mhm.
commercial food truck, the proposed operation is defined as commercial, it's not industrial. Which use permitted by the planning board is special exempt and conditional use. Based on the above findings, the proposed use is a permitted use in the RR district. Properties in the RR district, okay. Number 4, land use ordinance find and complies with dimension requirements, section DC is yes, it requires at least 1 acre, and you have 3 acres there, Dave,
Yep, on that lot,
on your application, yeah?
yeah,
Yeah, I kind of ran through this a little bit ahead of time before the meeting. Based on the above, the last application does conform with ordinance dimensions and requirements. Okay, it's not a campground, no camping. If you do have lighting, it should be shielded. C, lighting shall be shielded to prevent direct glare adjoining residential property or public lights away. It's
Think
not
no
industrial,
lighting. No lighting is being proposed, Herb. I think we should write that on the sheet.
okay? Okay. Industrial uses, outdoor storage, materials, products, that's the NA, vehicles shall be screened from view, so there's not gonna be any industrial stuff down. Off-street parking shall be provided sufficient spaces as determined by the planner to eliminate on-street parking, yes. And spaces. How many?
open area between the driveway and the road, so I don't, it's 180 feet between the 2 entrances. So take out the road and space in there, probably 140 or 50 feet by 20 or 30 feet.
That is
Figure that
That's
out how many
about-
cars will fit there, I guess.
15 cars,
15,
15, 20
I
cars.
think more than that would fit there.
Depends on how people park.
Well, that's true. Depends on how people park, but if you had,
The ordinance defines a parking space as 10 feet by 20 feet, which is a little on the big side. So if you have 140 by 20,
That's what.
you have 14 cars.
all right, just,
I think, obviously you have,
I have plenty of room to make the parking lot bigger if I want.
yeah, and it's probably better.
Yeah.
I think you could make.
I could, I know all that land up in there too.
You could do a double parking aisle,
Your road that you're putting in,
park on both
you're
sides.
having a park, yeah, you're having a park area on the roadside, you might be able to. You can stuff some on the lawn or if it's all there.
Is that long? I mean, I guess that's.
It's all clay. I mean, in the summertime, you can drive a truck on it and nothing.
Would this be at some
Maybe
point
that's
shared with the other business, Dave? Would
No,
you share parking a little bit?
no, Sandy, I think that business is gone, done. She might put a rental cottage there. I don't know what she's gonna do with it. She doesn't know what she's gonna do with it. So, no, I don't,
Okay,
I'm gonna stay on my land. She can stay on hers.
all right.
We've already got one right away. I already got one right away down through the middle of her land for my wall, so I'm not gonna push it.
Sounds good. So I mean, how many, I guess maybe it's easier to say how many cars do you think you want to park?
I think you could put 20 in there easily.
Let's just put 20 cars, and I think it's gonna be, you know, you work with your contractor to set up a parking lot for 20 cars. I think
Okay,
the most important thing is keeping your, I think you're well under it, but just keeping that impervious area under 1 acre. That's the DEP threshold for a stormwater permit. You don't want to have to deal with that.
No, no, I don't.
So 1
Yeah,
acre.
you should be.
I think you'll be well under it.
I will. I mean, I own the next lot up too, which is 9 and 10 acres.
Yeah,
They're not combined right now, I guess,
Yeah,
because
it doesn't matter the DP though,
it doesn't.
no.
yeah, it's the project.
if you
not
find
a
you need
lot.
more spaces, you can always come back.
Yeah, yeah.
And, the only other things about the parking lot, you are gonna have to have it pitched so that you're not shedding runoff straight into the ocean or any streams.
Yeah, there's a 200 feet,
Yeah,
180 feet between them and the ocean. It's long, so.
and then, yeah, so that's a buffer, and then you're also gonna have to have erosion control during the whole construction.
Yeah.
Because it's in the shoreline. That's all I'm finding in here, it's not that bad.
Do you need to have another road opening permit from DOT if you're making a loop and you've only got
I
one
think
opening?
That's one of the-
That's fine.
Have two
And
already.
there's already a ramp, which I've used for years, in front of Sam, my driveway.
Okay,
That's how we've got all the wedding trucks and everything down through there for years. I just haven't put stone dust on it, but the other one I did.
okay.
Yeah, it's not a DOT road.
It's not a DOT road. It's not 73, for example. That's a more of a, the DOT takes care of those repairs. Where we take care of the other, we do our own. Any other question about?
All you have to put in there is no runoff directly into the ocean and erosion control during construction.
Okay,
And subject to, if you end up with an erosion problem in the future, I gotta fix it, but
I
you
got a
really wanna
problem,
fix
but
it.
it's not from it's from the ocean.
Yeah, no, the other,
I got a big erosion problem.
I know. Yeah, no, that's true. That's gonna be the least of your worries erosion wise, but, we just gotta put it in there, because that's what the rule says. I don't think it's gonna be onerous.
okay, I have that. Ready to move on?
Yeah.
Section F, it's not a, addiction clinic, that's NA. Based on the above findings, proposed permit completes with the performance standards well noted conditions. Any additional conditions, planning board may, in order to carry out the purposes of special exemption procedure, require additional conditions, specifications, criteria, standards necessary to affect the public interest to fit such uses harmoniously and compatibly into the neighborhoods and locations. Such conditions may include or not limited to. Is there any other conditions? We're gonna go through the hours of operation and all that later in a few minutes.
You just
You can
list them for our benefit, or
Again, it just doesn't really list them. It says, it's kind of
yeah,
a
no,
general thing,
I think nothing additional.
nothing additional.
just- It sounds like, and to me, it seems like a good approach to just keep it as minimal as possible in terms of construction.
Yeah.
So it's, not a big impact on the land.
Mhm.
People use the field already. It's similar to how they use it now. It's just there's a couple food trucks there and some car parking.
Okay, increased setbacks, use with state of Maine, we require, state likes to have you have 6 feet. The town, South Thomaston, has 0. But setbacks from roads. Are we talking about the trucks or the parking? Like, parking's close to the road.
Not gonna be close, and it won't be within 6 feet, because there's a bank and it goes down like this pretty steep, so.
That's what
It'll
that
be
is.
more than 6 feet.
Thank you.
Well, that's for the property lines, setbacks from roads. Usually it's about, well, it's a little bit more than that, but is 20 feet too far back from the road?
Yeah, I like to keep it up closer to the road as possible,
Yeah.
because that's the highest land and that's the,
Okay,
furthest
Well-
away from you. I mean, 10
10
feet's
feet?
fine. Yeah, that's fine,
10 feet's fine, yeah.
yeah.
10, okay. And from bodies of water, we'll have to, let's go with the
I think
Minimum.
75 minimum.
75
Yeah.
feet. Okay. Yes. You must comply with state main setbacks, provide additional setbacks from any dwelling existing at the time of permitting totaling. So there's no dwellings there that are close by.
No,
So we'll call that 6 feet too. It's kind of minimum. Relevant body lines will be clearly marked by a licensed surveyor. You own the land around it, so
yeah,
I think that's okay, across the road.
yeah,
Water, yes or NA? No,
No
no,
water, I
well,
think.
no,
no septic,
no,
okay. Okay. Visual screening condition required, operations will be not visible from abutters to a town road, business will be visible from town road or abutters, so it
It
will
will.
be.
It
Yeah.
will be, yes.
Okay. Fences, condition requirement for commercial, industrial operations, equipment storage, visible from adjacent dwellings, fencing or landscape screening, trees, shrubs, or any berms will be installed, yes or no? So.
Don't
the only
think so.
Oh, none of that, okay,
I think it would be, even if we required it, it wouldn't do anything, because the road sits quite higher than that field.
Yeah,
Okay.
plus I think,
You need pretty
it's fine, I think,
substantial trees.
I think, to me,
I don't
that's-
want plenty from it.
No, it's-
yeah, I was gonna say, it blocked the view from the road. Nobody's
Yeah,
gonna like
all
that.
the
Yeah.
other neighbors would
Yeah.
not be happy with that.
I think as.
I know,
as
I know you don't want to be
minimum-
trash around, Dave, so I'm not gonna worry about that, right?
No,
Okay. Any other landscaping required?
No, don't think so.
Okay. Okay, type of service, scope of application, increased scope will require a new updated permit to be approved to increase the scope by the planning board. So if you need a bigger parking lot, you need to come back. Staffing, number of employees. So you got 3 trucks.
So you-
well, I mean, they're gonna be their own independent, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
have any staff there, or employees.
So one person, you.
Yeah, I guess, I'll be the one to oversee it. If there's a
Okay, you
problem,
wanna-
I'll deal with it.
Yeah, I think that's it, one.
One, okay. You gonna have any security lighting, or you don't really care about any kind of cameras or anything like that?
No,
That was no?
no,
Okay. Now, hours of operation, you want 11 AM to 7 PM,
yeah,
Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Mostly daylight operation.
right,
It's up in the fall, maybe a little darker. Federal holidays, yes. Memorial Day.
yeah, yeah.
To do some business on those holidays.
Okay, days of operation. How
365.
about if you want May 1st to October 31st, that's 184 days.
That's fine.
Okay,
I don't envision it going that much, but that's fine.
all right. So it'll be May 1st to make October 31st and 184 days. Total number of off-street parking spaces, we're gonna call it 20.
I think so, yeah.
Signage, any exterior lighting will be designed to ensure safe movement, security, motion detectors. Yes, no, no,
No lighting, not applicable.
no, okay, NA. Okay, NA for the motion detectors down below. Excellent, exterior lights will be down facing sufficient for adequate safety and security. NA again,
Yep,
okay, but any light you have has to be, you can't shine on the neighbors, but they're all neighbors down there. You're all family down there, excuse me.
that's a good business because all the lighting and everything is brought in by the businesses and it's on them. You just giving them
All
a spiel.
signs will comply with town orders, particularly size, distance from road, corner requirements, 40 feet from a corner, so forth. Signs may be used to advertise to ensure safe movement, security. Unlighted size, maximum size 4 by 4 feet. Okay, no, yes, no, non-applicable.
Probably have a sign up going on Florence Beach Road, but my sister owns the land there too, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
4 by 4 is the max on that.
Okay.
Noise will not exceed 65 decibels, correct?
I don't think it'll be noisy.
Okay. Dust condition requirement, operation shall not create emissions dust dirt beyond the property line, and will also apply during the construction phase of the project. Yes, no, non-applicable.
I think that's true. I mean, you have to do the erosion control anyway, like it's just like keep
Okay.
your construction under control, it should be fine.
When you do work like that, you can say maybe require resurfacing across the road, use of water, tenting to mitigate dust, halt operations, wind direction or speeds not favorable for operation. So that'd be yes. Okay, so that's just during the construction. Odor control.
Not
Nothing,
applicable.
okay.
People will not complain about the good food smells.
No, they don't know. There's no rock crushing there, no vibration, no equipment. And ask again for parking spaces, we'll say 20. Vehicle Protection Act, that condition requirement. Operations will be limited to the conditions of proof of these performance standards with regard to hours and days of operation. We've already determined that. If required, access to the public will be restricted or controlled. If you want to put up a gate, yes, no, or a sign.
No, probably not. I mean, I might put 2 posts of the road across it, you know, after it's closed at night, just so people don't drive down in there, but.
That's what I mean.
I'm not
So I'll
looking
just
at any
put-
gates.
I'll just put that yes in case somebody complains.
I'll just shoot them at them.
You have a right to protect your property. Enough capacity on the
On record.
existing road? Enough capacity on the existing road?
Yes,
Yep,
Yes.
that's been proven.
Okay, now it says added driveways. Are we adding a driveway? Are we,
we're putting one, yes, one
So-
loop.
one additional driveway? So we're gonna go from 1 to 2.
Just entrances, basically it means.
Well, one, yeah, there's already 2 entrances, but I'm gonna connect them with a driveway.
Okay, so I'll just say there'd be a loop, you know, so that'd be, right now it's 1, basically. I guess it is 2, but we'll just make it so everybody knows it's in there. So we're going from, we'll say adding 1 driveway from 1 to 2. That way it's covered, both entrances.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll have professional and safe operation consistent with the proposed use. Any comments on that?
Nope,
None? Anybody?
I think that's, you know, if your vendors are receiving complaints, you're gonna be responsible for
Yeah.
handling it, but
With
that, yeah.
Probably for me, because I'm the one directly across the street.
fair enough, yeah, so that's good oversight. So I think that's fine, Irv.
Okay. All other approvals, if they have to have a vending license or anything like that, they'll have that.
I think you could write, vendors. Like in.
I don't know if they require in South
Yeah,
Thompson.
vendors are responsible for all required licenses.
Okay. Okay, they'll have all required licenses prior to operations.
Yeah, vendors, yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be right on the road, says fire department access, yes.
Mhm.
The South Thompson Fire Chief will verify the site's access adequate prior to commencement of operations. And the project must meet state and main fire codes for its intended use. So
I think
pretty standard.
basically your driveway just has to have the turning radius for an ambulance fire truck, that's it.
You can have like a one-way, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a one-way, yeah.
Yeah, so I think as long as you can get an emergency vehicle in there, that's all it's needed.
Okay, the applicant will limit material disturbance and activity to a maximum of 2 acres for development of this project. And will comply with state and Maine providing guidance for erosion control, groundwater monitoring, no fuel storage,
No,
and any reclamation. So that's yes. Okay. Maintenance inspection of sewage facilities, there's none, right?
Right.
NA on that one. And then no additional compliance unless the need for expansion, so. Applicants and agents will comply with all federal and state requirements. Any other conditions that we want to apply besides those?
I don't believe so.
Okay, none on that. Okay, decisions based on the findings. With specific condition, the applicant for approval and the land use ordinance was approved, denied, vote in favor, or proposed. We need a motion.
All right. Yeah, so can we get a motion to approve this application with the conditions? You
Yes,
approve it?
make the motion to approve the application.
Catherine moved,
I'll second.
Travis second. I think we gotta do a roll call vote, Irv, because you're the remote, so I'll call that. Any
Okay.
further discussion?
Nope,
None for me.
Hearing none. We will vote Irv,
In favor?
Travis,
In favor?
Catherine,
yes,
and Gabe, I in favor as well. So that's 4-0.
All right. And zero. Okay, I gotta read this part. South Thomas Land Use Ordinance, section 4, paragraph D5 permits should not be denied if the proposed use is found to be in conformance with the provision of this ordinance. So that means as long as it's allowed, we can't deny you. Okay, I'm gonna make this for the 215-2024. Okay, that's it for that.
All
Good
right,
luck, Dave.
thanks so
Good luck
much.
with
See you down there.
what's on the menu.
Yeah,
Yeah, what kind of heat truck?
I don't know. All right, thank you. We'll see
Thank you. Have a nice night.
All right, so that brings us to the old business.
Landscaping?
The landscaping definition. It looks like we also have this letter from Jeff to
Yeah.
discuss. They should have adjusted the agenda earlier, but we can take that at the end.
Okay.
That's part of scheduling and action
That
items.
actually
Yeah,
comes
yeah. So I think I'm gonna try and remember what the background for this is. I think we've just been talking a little bit about things like screening and landscaping with some of these applications that are coming in, and it came to it was brought to our attention that we don't have a clear definition of what we mean when we say landscaping. And I guess the thought is we want to put that in there so that we can be clear what we're expecting when we say,
Mhm.
please provide landscaping.
And consistent.
Yeah, and consistent. So Irv has sent a general definition that he found online, which is helpful to read. And I think, that's a starting point for the discussion. I guess I can say that, to me, I think there's some of these things like fences, patio covers, walls, decks, built features, things like that seem to be covered under other, like we have separate definitions for some of those things. Like those outdoor structures, I think, fence is a fence and deck is a deck. We can exclude those from the definition for this purpose, because I think what we're trying to be clear about is the two things above, which is the sort of combination of changes to the shape of land and plantings that people might be required to use to screen or improve
Yeah.
the appearance of
Mhm.
a business.
Yeah, I think there's probably two categories. There's screening and then there's improving the appearance, right?
Yep.
Like there's trying to block it and then there's just trying to make it look good.
Mhm. So maybe I think
Some
that,
combination of the two with, shaping the land and planting of ornamental, edible, native or other type of landscaping plants. Well, you can't really say
Yeah.
landscaping plants.
The key
but-
for screening is the height,
yeah. So do we
so,
want to require a minimum height for a plant that's used for screening? Probably so.
yeah.
Yeah,
But there's two ways of thinking about that too, which is how big is it when you plant it and how big does it get?
yeah, it should be understood that it's a mature plant size,
Yeah,
but also you can't plant something this big.
yeah,
Okay,
I've seen other ordinances specify like minimum sizes that are like not
Yeah,
costing people huge amounts of money to plant, but also not like plant like one like
I know,
blade of
and then
grass.
it grows half an
Yeah,
inch a year.
size that it's planted to be X, like that. Maturity.
Yeah.
And then so I think that's very helpful for screening. I think what I'm gonna propose is that I'm happy to, like, I'll write all this down and then I'm gonna I volunteer, unless anybody else wants to write a definition that we then review and approve at the next meeting.
Yeah,
And I
are
think
there
that would tie in well.
references for height, like, is there language?
I'll have to
somewhere?
look that
Yeah.
up. I was just working on a
I
project
think
in
it
Ellsworth.
requires like something planted that's like minimum a foot. that,
Even a foot, I think that's small.
no, but like, you know,
A spruce or, something that's gonna be full, that's another thing.
but you plant a 1 foot tree and in 2 years, it's gonna be 4 feet tall. You
Well,
know,
something
that-
maybe a perennial type plant where it grows every year, you know. that
I
would
know,
make
but you don't
sense.
want it to take 10 years to get to a reasonable height. So again,
We have a tree, they're expensive.
I know, so-
Tree, it's a couple of $100. They're requiring some.
and then you put a fence, I don't know, it's like,
I think
You know what I
Well,
kind of think, my thought on this is, if we want screening, then we might have to take it project by project. Because some are big, some are small, some are, different neighbors, lot sizes and everything else, so.
I think that we can, I agree here, but I still think we have to have a minimum
All right.
standard that we can apply. Because it is, I mean, it's true that some projects are gonna be able to afford
Yeah.
big screening and other projects are, people just don't have the budget.
Well, yeah,
for
you look
trees
at,
and-
like Dave Cousins coming in, like if we were to require him to have screening, like he doesn't have any building parking lot hoping to get some food trucks, like there's no source of income.
Yeah,
You can't require him to go spend $3,000 on planting trees.
and it's also not like, it's not
It's-
disruptive.
yeah, and it's not necessary, that's.
So, yeah, that's what I mean, like if it was a different situation where
Yeah.
we wanted,
Yeah.
thought it needed to be screened, it's.
I think, are you kind of probably referring more like to more industrial type sites, or is that the thing that's the problem? Or
Well, we have the case for Travis, with his neighbors, and I saw what you planted, what height is that? That's a good height.
Yeah, they're like 8 foot.
Well, that's
Maybe
tall,
just-
actually, that's pretty tall already. But,
I think
You know-
something that maybe in the 4 foot range to start with, or something, a 3,
Yeah, I think.
3, because they will
3
grow.
feet, I think 3 feet is reasonable, and, I mean, when you drive like on 73 going toward Rockland, there is this big property going onto the water, and they planted those little spruce, I mean, they look like, not even a foot tall, and it's not growing, it's gonna take ages before it makes a fence, and so you
Yeah,
don't,
I
you don't
think-
wanna
I think
defeat the
some-
purpose. When you require screening, is obviously you want to serve a purpose, either for neighbors or something, so it has to be there. Just planting something that's so small, it's really doesn't serve the purpose, so it has to have a minimum height.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think.
Well, that brings up another subject, boundaries. Is that what we're looking at on your boundary line? Is that between you and your neighbor? Is that what
I
we're
think it's,
kind of
I
thinking
think we're
about?
looking at, and also between the road sometimes
Yeah.
and the business. Or whatever it is, like if it's
If it's a junkyard or whatever, you may want to require like a fence or something.
I think it's honestly, it's for neighbors and also for the general benefit of the public.
Mm,
That we sort of want things to look nice in town.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that is definitely a case by case basis, Irv, and I think we want to reserve the right to look at the plot plans and.
Yeah.
that's the other side of it, it's not just screening, but, say somebody has a store or something, you don't want to block, but you want it to look presentable.
mhm.
Yeah,
Being able to require them to add landscaping
Yeah,
to increase appearance or.
yeah, so I think I have, the way I'm starting to think about it, I think is, there's a general definition. And it says like landscaping is, changing the shape of the land and adding ornamental, et cetera, plants. For two purposes, one, screening, and then there's a little bit of a section for screening, including the minimum size, and then two is improve appearance, and I think improve appearance, we need to have a little definition for that, but that's much harder to define.
Yeah,
It's like, I think,
well, cause that could be grasses or mulch areas or.
yeah, it could be a lot of stuff.
And when it comes to that, it's, I mean, improving appearance is subject to who it is, but as long as we're requiring them to do something and not just
Yeah,
nothing.
and then if, all their plants are dead and they pave over the mulch bed, we can come back and say like, come on.
Yeah, that's basically what it is requiring effort to do something and maintain it to be something.
yeah.
Like,
Good
that's
spirit.
gonna have to be.
Yeah,
just
and then maybe
figure
the
case
three
by
thing
case.
is maintenance. So required landscaping to be maintained for duration of business activity or something. Okay, I think I would be happy to just take this quick discussion, turn it into a
Yeah.
little paragraph, and then we can workshop it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gail.
And I think that one point though is that, this is good timing because that is, an ordinance change. And it will have to go back through the package of ordinance changes that's gonna be voted on at the town meeting.
Mm.
Cause we don't have anywhere we can add a definition other than in the ordinance. So we can, bring that to our ordinance review meeting, which I think is already scheduled or proposed to be scheduled for our next planning board meeting. Is that right? Or,
yeah.
No.
We're gonna talk about that, right?
We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about that, yeah.
so I think unless anybody else has more comments on landscaping, maybe we can just,
The only thing I have, we have the right to ask for landscaping already in our performance standards. So I don't know if
Yeah.
it's a full ordinance thing to have to do that or not, but we can look
I
into
think
that a little more too.
yeah. The only thing that I think is the ordinance, Irv, is literally like, where do we put this paragraph? That's the definition. Otherwise, I agree. We don't have to change our powers or anything. It's all
Alright.
in there. I don't think we should increase, like, I don't think we should change that. I just think it's like, where is this little piece of text about landscaping gonna live?
Well, it could live in the performance standards or, some
Yeah.
other
Well, let's
area in
maybe-
town.
Yeah, we can have that discussion with Jeff too and figure it out.
All right,
So, yeah, so then the next item is establish action items for the next planning board meeting and schedule the meeting. So we have a request from Jeff to schedule a meeting to just wrap up the ordinance discussion so that we can hold a public hearing on the ordinance changes in time for everything to get bundled up and prepared for town meeting. He wants to do that. He wants to do that in March, and then a public information meeting, public hearing
By the end of the month.
by the end of March.
So
Okay.
our usual meeting is on the third, a Thursday.
Yeah, which is
The
late.
second Thursday, there's the first Thursday is typically the meeting of the facilities committee. But because of the architect and some people not being available, that has been switched to the second Thursday. So that Thursday is out to have our special meeting. But it means that the first Thursday is available.
First Thursday is the 7th of March, yeah.
What?
The seventh.
Yeah, it is. So Wyatt, is everybody available for that? I could do March 7th.
Yeah, I'm not for the 14th, but I am for the seventh.
Yes,
Yeah.
that works perfectly, yeah.
I can
So-
go come on the 7th.
Yeah, okay, so let's
The only thing I was
do,
gonna allow for, if they were gonna have a public hearing, to give them enough time to
Yeah,
advertise.
so that works as well, it's earlier.
ordinance meeting, March 7th, and then 2 weeks later, our standard meeting, which is, I guess
Yeah.
that's the 21st then, right?
Yeah,
And then they gotta have another meeting after that for the ordinance, to have a public hearing for that.
Yeah, so then it would, that public hearing then would be,
are we gonna have a permit? We don't know yet, but we could we? So we can't schedule the public hearing on the same day as the planning board meeting?
we can.
Okay,
I think
Yeah,
the public hearing would just be like we usually schedule half an hour
I know.
before the regularly scheduled planning board meeting, and if it goes over a little bit, no problem.
so do we have any applications for next month?
Not yet.
Not yet,
People don't think that far ahead.
so we don't know. I think I would propose that we schedule, at least propose to schedule the public hearing or just before our
Like,
normal planning board meeting on the 21st.
If you can, yeah. I won't be around that day, but I think I'll be traveling that day. The 28th I could make, but if you guys want to do it then, that's fine. I don't,
Yep. Well, I mean, I think the 20th is fine with me too. It doesn't really matter.
I don't, yeah, either. Well,
let's do it the 28th then. If
You're
then I
thinking
can be
about it.
there.
no, it's February. Yeah.
Okay, so 3/28 hearing. Okay,
Okay, so we changed to the 28th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whether.
If we have any planning board stuff, we can do it then. If we
Yeah.
don't. All
So
right,
we're
that
not
helps me a
having
little bit.
the 21st?
correct.
So what else? So we have 3 days,
2 days,
2 days.
Two,
March
two.
7th, March 28th.
We're trying to keep the nights
The
down.
planning board meeting has been moved.
Sure.
Yes,
Well, that's what we're
Because
trying to do right now. I'm setting the
that's what
schedule.
that's what we're hoping to do. Yes, because it doesn't really make sense to have 2 meetings 1 week apart because the public hearing is not going to be long. It's not going to.
Well, we need to ask Jeff whether he's happy with having it so late. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's,
Well, in his note, he said.
It's in March, right?
Hearing on Tuesday, March 28th, question mark, so.
Okay, I didn't.
I would say that he would be good with that.
Okay,
Got exactly what he asked for.
all right, those dates work for me.
I'll double check with him to see if the.
so nothing on the 21st.
Right,
Yeah, we're
it's the
gonna,
first and last Thursdays.
okay,
So will the public hearing start at 6,
5:30.
5:30?
okay. On the 7th, you mean? No, the 28th, excuse me.
No, the
But-
The
28th.
meeting on the 7th is normal time, 6 PM.
Okay,
Ordinance review workshop. And then the public hearing at 5:30 on the 28th, and then the planning board meeting to follow.
right. That gives time for public notice and everything too.
Yep.
All right, got it.
Thanks, everyone.
All right,
Motion to adjourn.
I'm ready for one. Wait a second. Okay, we're good. I think we'll adjourn the meeting until 7.
Who seconded it?
Travis did. Travis did by,
He winked. Well,
he made a nodding gesture.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
Guys, have a nice night. Stay out of the snow.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.